6 there. He has the option of going first.
There's 2 cards here. The sleeves stuck together. Just push this one back. I didn't look at anything yet. There's 2 cards here.
What was the order? Was it left?
It was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Should we randomly pick one? I haven't looked at anything.
So here we have an accidental pick of 6 cards on the top of the deck of Steven, but luckily it's all been face down. It's all been unknown, so it doesn't really matter. Pick a random card out of here. He's going to reveal a Duom 2F. That was a Horus monster.
A lot of information there. Now, if you're wondering what just happened, again, when you draw an extra card, but you haven't added it to your hand, you do reveal it to your opponent. We chose a random one here, and it goes back to the top of the deck.
And here we have the Perulia, so now we know what that 6 card is going to be. Oh, or we're not. We're going to be with an Ash Blossom here, so no draws for Steven Santoli off that Perulia.
Yep.
Here we have the normal summon of Aramasa, going to be searching for yet another Mitsurugi monster here. And then here we see the Ame no Habakiri no Mitsurugi. We're probably going to get that powerful once per duel effect to get deeper into our Mitsurugi engine.
Just shows you how powerful one card could push a deck over the edge. But the same story really for Santoli, because honestly, just some really, really good use of that Crystron cluster, being able to stop cards from getting banished. But this is not one of those banished decks, so maybe this is where the story of the Crystron stops.
Oh, 100%. We're going to see the Habakiri choose to go for that Saji, and we're going to tribute the Aramasa potentially to fully resolve the effect. Debating here. Charlie's going to choose to do the Saji because the Saji was tributed. Now we can search for any Mitsurugi spell. That's, of course, going to be the Mitsurugi Ritual.
Sure.
There we see that powerful ritual card being used. It's going to be summoning from the hand. We're going to get that Amino Habakiri no Mitsurugi by tributing cards from our deck. Looks like we're eyeing another one to be tributed.
Yeah, it might be.
We could choose 2 different level 4s like Kusanagi, but given that we're playing Mitsurugi Ryzeal, there's a chance that this Aramasa we have in play is the only other level 4 Mitsurugi we have, so we might not have enough actual material to do it.
Considering one or the other.
I'm not sure what other level 4 reptile he could have.
It's always like that Yu-Gi-Oh meme of the path not taken, but it looks like we're going to send Kusanagi and the Aramasa.
Yeah, like I said, this version of the deck plays very few of the actual Mitsurugi cards. It's pretty much as many as you can play, so getting rid of that extra body on feels a little annoying if you're Charlie. Oh, and just a heads up for everyone watching at home, we did have a DC minor issued to Steven for that extra card drawn at the start of the game.
So again, just a warning. Hasn't happened earlier in the tournament, so not a big deal, but play will continue with that penalty.
Yep, and here we have another Habakiri going to the hand. And we added back the ritual, I believe, off of the effect of Kusanagi, which I think we're going to play right now.
Oh, wow. So I did catch a peek at Charlie's hand, and he does have a cross-out designator, so this is kind of going to be uninterrupted play. No matter what happens, he does have the way to stop it, but let's go ahead and resolve these card effects, see what's coming next.
Yep, there we see the Murakumo coming down, tributing the Habakiri that was properly summoned, meaning we can now use its tributed effect to summon back and add a card to our hand. Or should I say, add a card to hand and then summon back. We're going to add the prayers here and summon back the Habakiri, like I said. This is pretty much the full Mitsurugi combo here to have the interruptions in Murakumo as well as that prayers.
You're good.
But from the look of Charlie's hand, he doesn't have any access to his Ryzeal cards.
Well, we've seen Mitsurugi Pure get pretty far in the tournament. This is one way for you to play a Pure deck, just don't draw the Ryzeal cards.
Yep, so here we see the prayers coming down, going to be tributing our Murakumo. We're going to get both effects now. This is probably going to add back, I believe we normal summon the Aramasa to start all this off. So we're just going to figure out the best way to go about this. We're going to add another Habakiri to the hand.
Wow. Somebody's got a favorite Mitsurugi, that's for sure.
Oh, yes. And then we're going to pay the 800 life points. That's part of Mitsurugi's prayer's ability to summon from the graveyard.
Yeah, this is 17.
Sure. It's going to be Aramasa in defense mode. That could be the first level 4 that we need. And then we're going to bring back the Murakumo and Raigeki the whole board?
Yeah.
Oh, no board to be gone. Okay, makes sense, makes sense.
Sure.
Let me destroy all the monsters you don't have. But you're right that we do have a level 4, so it's possible if we get another one out, it might be time for a duo drive. But speaking of Exceed Summons, we're in the opposite direction here, rank 8.
And I think you can tell by Steven's face, he did not expect... Is that Numeron Dragon?
Yes?
No, it's Dragoogleon. It's Dragoogleon. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's right, from Maze of the Master.
I saw a giant yellow dragon. I was like, what could that be? Yeah, that's the new Dragoogleon from Maze of the Master. I believe it's more commonly used in the Tachyon deck, not normally used in this one. Speaking of Tachyon, there we see 7 Tachyon coming down from Charlie. This will give him that other level 4 he needs to get into the rest of his Ryzeal cards.
That makes perfect sense. I mean, take advantage of the fact that you have so many great level 8s.
Yeah, so this, I believe the Dragoglion was able to search the 7 Tachyon and be able to bridge the Mitsurugi cards into the Ryzeal cards, which is what Charlie was trying to hope for. And you see Steven kind of dumbfounded by how powerful this is being.
So some wild and innovative stuff. Shows you how Charlie got this far in the tournament, but he still hasn't necessarily got into it now that he's got the Ice Ryzeal. I believe he's already used his normal summon, but may just send some to the graveyard. Is he going to send them all?
We're going to send
No,
the
okay.
Fuelos from the hand of the graveyard, especially Ice, and now we're going to overlay these two into Duo Drive. Does Steven have a way to interact with this? Because if he doesn't, it might be lights out. But like you said, Charlie has, what's it called? Crossout Designator. So even if he had something, he would have been able to stop it. And oh my gosh, we're going to detach from the Dragoglion as well as from the Duo Drive to maintain that extra bit of material under Duo Drive to have the protection in case we search for Cross here. That was a really awesome sequence of plays there from Charlie.
Certainly very creative there. Shows you that we haven't really figured this format out. There's a lot of different things you could add, even to some decks that, well, we thought we'd explored over the weekend.
Yeah, it is worth noting that because he went for this, I'm not sure he's going to have access to Murakumo anymore, because now that the Murakumo has been detached, was it still properly summoned or no?
It should still be considered as properly summoned,
Okay,
yes.
so that's good to know, in case he can revive it back with prayers or something like that.
What a heads-up way using Dragoglion to be able to get the Tachyon cards. That's such an interesting play. I don't think I've seen that this whole weekend.
Yeah, Divine Golden Shadow Dragon Dragluxion. What a card. What a rank 8. And Steven thought he was the only one summoning rank 8s in this tournament.
Yeah, apparently not. Well, we're going to go and send to the graveyard. Its time in the spotlight is over as it's sent for the cost of Ice Ryzeal, or no Ryzeal, excuse me. Going to bring back the Ice Ryzeal.
Yep, and now we're just going to go ahead and overlay into the good old detonator. But something to be noted is that we don't have access to Eclipse Twins, it looks like. So this detonator might be just the only one that he can go for here. Oh, he's going to choose to back up just a little bit here. Make sure he goes exactly the right order he wants. He's sequenced perfectly so far. May as well not make a mistake now at the end.
Still going the same direction. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Yeah, we've been seeing this all day in day 2. The meticulous nature of these players is, I think, what really warrants them being here at the top tables.
And the creativity, too. But now we're going to go ahead and drop down. There's the Ryzeal detonator.
Pause time.
Classic.
It's like we're getting some instructions there from the judge. And we're just going to take a quick look at the text of there. Why don't I pull up?
It looks like the judges have a
itself.
question about how Dragoglion was able to get us here. So they paused the timer.
If it's
Yeah, you only
special
added
summoned from the
Tachyon.
extra deck, you can add a Galaxy or Tachyon card from your deck to your hand. That's how we got 7 Tachyon.
Yes.
Then you'd attach 2 materials from it. We didn't use that. We're not doing any rank 8 effects, that's for sure.
Yes.
I think it's good.
Yep, and then we're going to attach the Dragoglion using the detonator here.
Just do anything when detached.
Steven just making sure he has a clarification of, hey, why'd you do that? There's a reason you did this, right? I promise. I just need to know.
I mean, just style points for sure. But Charlie isn't just here to style. He's here to try to win against Steven, getting ever closer to being a new YCS champion here.
Ooh, and there we see Star Ryzeal, a card that was also released in Alliance Inside to support the Ryzeal deck. Haven't seen it, I don't think, so far today, but it's nice to see Charlie showing it off here.
Only in the pure Ryzeal build. I haven't seen any mix and matches here, but we are going to use the effect to special summon it by detaching an Xyz material. I wonder if he's going to attach it from the detonator or the duo drive.
One. I haven't cheated. Go ahead. I only searched once and summoned, and I used the effect in hand.
Oh, again, the judges have a quick question here about how Habakiri has
He's
resolved
each effect
throughout
once, I
this.
believe.
Yes.
I think.
Just clarifying that, yes, there's
I've
one
just been
effect that's
showing
once per
it.
duel, and the other effect is once per turn.
Off this, I've used both of these. Is that what you're referring to?
Charlie, a confident duelist, knows exactly what he did.
I added prayers off. Wait, can we pause it?
Yeah, so he's just clarifying that he added his second copy of prayers off the Habakiri.
Yeah.
It's always important to have clear communication with your judge in case they have any big questions for you about how stuff has happened.
Certainly a complicated field for sure. Just making sure everything is on the up and up.
Yeah, prayer. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
prayers.
he added
and
the
I
one.
summoned back, and then I summoned third. Yeah.
We're good. I've been following less along than I should have been. You're good.
Yeah, Steven's kind of dumbfounded, just like some other people are, about like, oh my gosh, how did we even get here? It's kind of impressive. And Charlie's like, no, guys, I promise, I'm just him. Trust me, we're good.
He is that duelist. All right, but speaking of that duelist, we're going to go and drop the star Ryzeal.
Going to be attaching that extra material we saved on the dual drive earlier, and now we're going to get to search for a Ryzeal spell trap.
Now, you said we didn't have access to the Eclipse Twins, but maybe that's why we put the duo drive in the extra monster zone. Is it going to be used as material to drop down the Eclipse Twins?
I like the way you think.
But there's a lot of other different options, too, now that he has access to Sword Ryzeal. So it looks like they were just verifying if the Aramas's effect was activated twice, but it looks like it was not. But we'll give you any updates we receive from our judge team.
Here we're going to see another Ring 4 coming down from Charlie. We have the big 2. I wonder if we're going to get anything else. Something like that Gusto Emerald could be pretty cool to recycle some of our resources.
Dugaris is also an option, too, if you just want to dig deeper into the deck, sort of set up advantage before Steven kicks off his Crystron Horus themed turn.
Ooh, you're so psychic today. We're going to be using the Dugaris here to get some extra draws to our deck or extra summons.
And the judges did verify everything was good, so this is a fair and square duel.
Yep, Charlie is just him.
Yep.
Man, that is an interesting turn for sure.
Yep, we're going to discard the Habakiri off the Dugaris' effect. And can you use 2 rank 4 monsters to summon Eclipse Twins?
You can. Mix and match.
Ooh, that's exciting.
So you can do a 4 and a rank 4, or 2 level 4s, or 2 rank 4s.
There we see the cross-returning more 2 Ryzeal names. A really great way to sort of make up for that, new semi-limits on all the main ones, Sword, Ice, and Ext.
From Charlie's perspective, what semi-limits? I mean, he has access to everything he needs, and now he's going to drop down these 2.
Yep, so here we see the Eclipse Twins. So if you're Steven, you're thinking to yourself, okay, what am I actually having to play through here? We have a full Mitsurugi graveyard, as well as a triple material detonator across, and a whole hand from Charlie.
So
That's
it's
kind of a lot.
interesting. Yeah, when you really look at it, it looks about the same as your last format Ryzeal board, but it's so consistent how we got here. Like, Charlie always has a way in.
And we have the prayers to get back our Murakuma from the graveyard.
Free Raigeki. Feels good.
Steven just looking at this board texture and going, okay, how do I start here? It looks like he has a Foolish Burial in hand, which is a really good way to start off all the Crystron plays. He's going to lead with that. We can see the Sending Smiger. Get into Inclusion or get into Cluster. Let's see how he wants to go here. He's going to be sending Fist Wyvern, actually. This card will let him search for another monster card by banishing it.
Hang here.
Specifically a Crystron monster.
Add monster.
We're going to
He's
do
doing
that.
it.
So here we could probably get Tristaros, Smiger, just get into more of the Crystron Synchro plays. Because I think I saw an Inclusion already in Steven's hand.
Add Crystron.
Well, I'm starting to see how he's managed to do so well in all these different scenarios, because think about it, if you destroy Crystrons, they're really not opposed to that. And with
no, that's
Crystron
stupid.
Inclusion, well, or to be Crystron Cluster, he's not getting banished.
But Steven has proudly declared that he's going first. They shake their hands, and here we go.
Stand by face.
Standby phase, Charlie has nothing. Main phase has begun for Steven. This is a really good sign. We've passed the first hurdle. Any more Charmies? Okay.
I'm steady pitch happy.
Ooh, Horus.
Good.
We saw the Duamtuef in game 1. Now we're seeing the M-Steady pitching the Happy to go search for King Sarcophagus. This could allow us to have...
So it looks like the call was upheld, by the way. So we are going to go ahead and keep on going. That is a procedural reminder. Again, it's just a warning, not a big deal.
But there we see the Drone Lockboard coming down for Charlie once again. This could be a little not fun for him because adding cards to his hand might deny him his Crystron cards.
Well, you can't just call it in now. It's single elimination. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and activate the King's Sarcophagus. Maybe get a few Horus monsters onto the field.
Yeah.
Yep, so now we're going to be summoning the Mseti, and then we're going to be summoning the Happy because King Sark is on field. So now we can go for a rank 8 play if we want to. We're going to chain Lancia, preventing any banishing effects, which is something that the Crystron cards do need to do, but they need to be banished from the graveyard to activate effects and whatnot.
This is a credit to your point that the most important cards this format seem to be the ones that have these big effects, not just a one-for-one trade, but something like you can't banish and you can't draw. Makes it pretty hard for Crystron.
Yeah, and Crystron's one of those rare decks that both gets hurt by Droll and Lockbird and Artifact Lancia, which because of the popularity of Mitsurugi and Malice, are everywhere in people's side decks. And for Steven to still be at the top 8 of this tournament, I think speaks to his ability to play through these cards.
Absolutely. Looks like he's going to use Foolish Burial, though.
Oh, watch this get the third name here for the Horus cards. That could be really fun to see.
I think so.
He's also eyeing up a Solfefnir here. That card's going to be sent to the graveyard here. That could be a nice future reborn. He's just getting clarification for how this card works. Basically, if it's destroyed or sent to the graveyard, you can summon a Crystron monster from your deck. I believe Burial triggers this, if I remember correctly.
Kind of difficult, though. Crystrons love being banished, and they cannot do their favorite thing right now. But I did catch a super polymerization in Steven's hand, so I think he does have the ability to stick in this duel no matter what. Yeah,
I was just clarifying that Solfefnir doesn't need to be destroyed, so the Burial will not be triggering it, but I did see the cluster in Steven's hand, so what he's doing is he's setting up that ability to pop during Charlie's turn. So here we see the overlay of these two level 8 monsters into number 90, Galaxy Photon Lord. This will be a really nice monster negate for him to have. Yep, so now we can discard and summon it from the graveyard, and now we're going to pop itself using its own effect and special from the deck.
Now, it is kind of funny to see Steven Santoli running a destruction-based deck because if I remember correctly, one of his great premier finishes was from Unchained, right? So he just loves destroying his own cards.
He's like, oh, are you telling me my cards can be sacrificed and I gain value? That's pretty fun.
Why wait for your opponent to destroy something when you can do it yourself?
So here we see the Smiger. Smiger has that really cool ability to destroy other cards you control and summon Crystron tuner monsters, but it also has the ability in the graveyard to be banished and search for a spell trap. Right now, that effect won't be able to activate because of the Lancia, but he is going to use the main effect to destroy it and summon a Crystron tuner. This will give him Citri access during Charlie's turn, or Tristaros as well. That could be a really good option for him as well.
Still deciding. Don't count him out yet.
Yeah, the only reason to pick Citri is if you want to be able to synchro without needing to summon any other cards, because Citri can summon the monster from the graveyard and then synchro with that.
Seems like that's exactly what he's going for.
Also, Tristaros can only work if your opponent activates a card or effect, so Steven might want to just have a quick ignition to be like, here's whatever level 7 I need.
We saw how powerful that was earlier in order to allow him to get that Samurai Destroyer before the Nibiru the Primal Being came down, but he also has Nibiru protection from the number 90 as well, so just good insulating, right? He's kind of has his back to the wall, having lost the first game. So
here we're going to have Steven end his turn. Now, I know this board doesn't look that formidable, but there's a little bit of layering going on here. We have the Photon Lord to be able to negate monsters. We have the Citri to be able to quick synchro. And we have, I believe, a known cluster for us, not for Charlie, of course, which can be an extra pop or double pop if he chooses to synchro summon a Crystron monster.
Ooh, infinite permanence there. Is he going to force the chain?
Unfortunately, I believe it's a main phase only effect.
Oh,
and
you're right.
Charlie
so
was
draw.
doing it, I believe, before that. I could be wrong, though.
Either or, we did not see anything happen.
And there we see the aggregator targeting the Photon Lord, which is going to force it out, and that's also fine as well. So now we have the X Ryzeal pretty much unfettered here from Charlie.
So everything that Steven set up under those very powerful lingering effects is now, well, it's lingering around and not doing much else.
And so we're going to special the sword here and get an additional search. So we're going to think on the add of Ice Ryzeal.
Thinking on Res, though.
Maybe time for a Crystron cluster?
Any of your guys engraved doing that? Not on my turn.
Not on your
right?
turn.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
purple's monster add, things, spell trap add. This is pitch special.
Just a little education there on all the Crystron effects. You don't see it in the top tables every day, let alone just in the dueling field. Steven Santoli, one of the very few duelists that showed up to this tournament with Crystron, but here he is.
Here, I think the thing he's debating is to activate the cluster now or to wait for the duo drive to get summoned, so that way we can maybe prevent Charlie from getting access to any more Ryzeal cards. But I think Charlie's eyeing up that Exciton Knight.
That is a big payoff. Imagine sending 5 cards for 1 detached material.
Yeah, Charlie has no concern about going for game this turn. What he wants to do is just clear Steven of all of his resources, which necessarily isn't true, because if Steven gets another turn, his follow-up with the Crystron graveyard he has might be more than enough for him to play through stuff.
Steven considering whether or not he's going to chain.
I'll chain trap to pop the Exciton.
Ooh, he wants to get the Exciton off the board and deny the body for Charlie.
Sure.
Because that'll force the Ice Ryzeal to go -1 in Charlie's hand. Oh, wait, but no, he hasn't normal summoned yet, so we can just normal summon it.
You might as well get rid of it. I mean, the card's going to go away anyway, so clear this field of cards.
Ooh, it was a super poly that was set face down.
Ooh, that is going to be difficult to live without it. However, there's no cards in Steven Santoli's hands, I think.
Yeah, but from now on, Steven's not going to take any damage, so he's confidently going to get a next turn and have a full graveyard of Crystron effects. Yep. So now Charlie's got to go, okay, how can I play through what I know is coming up next turn? Yeah, we got Smiger, that's Wyvern, so we're going to be able to get both a Crystron monster and a Crystron spell card. Plus whatever we draw for turn.
And so Charlie going to start off with the Ice Ryzeal here. And it is time to special summon a new level 4 friend.
Yep, we've already summoned Sword using his own effect as well as X using his own effect, so we're going to get a new Sword. We've already searched with one as well, so we're not just going to get the body here. But we do have access to Duo Drive still. Yep. Charlie just trying to make sure he knows where to go from here.
Without the damage, it's almost like both duelists got a first turn, so I think we're going to see... Oh, is that King of the Feral Imps?
Well, like I said in Game 1, I was surprised Mitsurugi can bridge into Ryzeal because normally it's the Ryzeals that bridge into the Mitsurugi cards thanks to the rank 4 King of the Feral Imps. But Charlie showed me you can do both.
Apparently it's a small world, huh?
Oh, we love it. Whether you're a Thunder Pyro or a Dark Reptile, it's all we're all one big Yu-Gi-Oh deck. So here we have the Saji tributing the Imps off of the effect.
Sure.
Going to go ahead and get the Mitsurugi Ritual. We're going to use the Mitsurugi Ritual to summon the Habakiri that we added off the Imps. And we're probably going to tribute the 2 level 4s, Aramasa and Kusanagi that we saw in Game 1.
I think I cheated again, bro.
Ooh, it's Kusanagi and Aramasa in hand again. Once again, having those names not all in the deck is a little bit of a bummer for Charlie. Going
No
-1 for
free
no
resources.
reason.
Mhm.
Yep, 100%.
Add that back and then add a monster. Yep.
Yep. So Kusanagi was 2, Aramasa was 1. It looks like we got another Habakiri. We saw Charlie go through all 3 of those in Game 1. Will he do it again?
Definitely committed to the plan here and activating the Mitsurugi Ritual once more.
This time we're going to be summoning from the deck, not from the hand. This will get us the Murakumo, I believe, that we saw again in Game 1. We're going to be tributing the Habakiri. This will get us another Mitsurugi card, and it will summon itself back to the field because it was properly summoned.
Sure. You're good.
So there we see the Habakiri and the prayers. We're going to use the prayers to tribute the Murakumo and get access to one of our level 4s again. And now this will be going into the Duo Drive, I believe, is what Charlie's trying to set up here. And because Steven has no cards in hand, Charlie's pretty much playing unfettered.
Now is definitely time to push. Life points are not an issue, and neither are cards in the hand. I mean, just push, push, push. That's exactly what we're doing as Murakumo hits the field once more.
Yep, and here we have pretty much the full power of the Mitsurugi board in that Murakumo being able to be a potential reusable Raigeki.
Yeah, you took
Really
the
cool.
8 and added.
Oh, I didn't summon though, because I tributed.
It's optional, so.
I tributed. So I can do both in sequence, right?
Yeah, but you... Did this get resolved already?
No. I haven't. I'm searching off this right now. This has not done resolve.
Where'd that come from? Question.
No, like this is.
Oh, so we're just asking a question here of what the resolution of
This was on the field.
Mitsurugi prayers.
I'm saying I didn't.
The effective summon is optional, so like you took the 8 and then this was the one that was.
I only take 800 if I summon though. So I have the summon. I said I take 800.
The summon's optional.
It says take 800 then special summon. I can't take 800 then not summon.
So we just have a clarification here because I think Charlie summoned the Murakumo back before he summoned off of prayers, and that would happen on a new chain. So there's a chance he skipped over the ability to summon, but I believe it is mandatory because he paid the 100 life points.
He did take 8.
So we're just going to have the judge clarify how this resolves here.
Then the other guy's on the board. The Futsu was on the board.
So it looks like the Murakumo will be still in play.
That one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
So the Murakumo,
And then you're resolving this one, yes. And then what I know in hand.
Give me a second.
Yeah, you're good. Which,
yeah, so it looks like, I believe, because the effect of summon is optional, that Charlie was not able to bring back the level 4, even though he did pay the 800 life points.
A little painful, but still managing to stay in there.
Special sword.
Like we said, it's both players' job to make sure the game state's being played properly. Steven noticed the problem and just called it out.
special note's fine. Yep.
Now we got the Node Ryzeal coming down. And gonna go ahead and bring out a Sword Ryzeal as well from the graveyard. Looks like I think it was Habakiri used from the hand to pay cost.
Yes, for the Node Ryzeal. And here we're going to see a XZ summon into the Duo Drive here. This will get us the rest of the Ryzeal cards that we might need. We're going to be, that's where was in play, and then we're going to attach from the grave.
Yep.
Sir.
Patch is fine.
Third.
Yep.
Node.
Yep, so we attach the sword, and we're discarding both the Node and the sword, leaving the Saji underneath the duo drive to go get Cross and probably Star, or no, Ice. We have not used Ice's effect to summon yet, so that'll give us the extra level 4 we need. So there we see Cross coming down. That'll be a nice monster negate for Charlie during Steven's turn, which could be very crucial for stopping some of those graveyard effects.
Yeah, Charlie basically cleaning up shop here as he prepares for Steven's onslaught of graveyard-based effects, right? You get one negate off the Ryzeal Cross, you get another one off the Mitsurugi Ritual Monster if your opponent doesn't even have a card to discard. So it's going to be kind of difficult for Steven to play through this, and Charlie's just taking this opportunity to get as much defense set up as possible.
Oh, 100%, because he knows that even though I have Steven's board wiped, he has access to actually a lot of cards. So here we're going to see the Ice Ryzeal coming down, discarding the last Abakiri from Charlie's hand, being able to search all 3 of them once again in this game.
What about the last monster? Another Xyz. We haven't seen detonators. Let's go ahead and attach from our graveyard.
I believe we do have the aggregator there that we sent for X at the very beginning of this turn, which is a really nice sort of extra form of disruption that Charlie has access to.
That could be huge. There are some face-up cards that remain in the Crystron deck.
One last, yeah, one last cut.
You're
good? Okay, you're right. I'm sure it's gonna matter. Draw for turn.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Saw a trap card in Steven's hand. Didn't quite catch what it was.
Oh, and there we see Steven just clapping it up. This board is